You've probably eaten eggs for years, maybe even every single morning. They're quick, they're easy, and they feel like a healthy, familiar start to the day, don't they? They're part of breakfast traditions, family meals, something we often don't give a second thought to. But what if that seemingly simple, harmless daily habit, something you've relied on for decades, could actually be working against your health now that you're over 60? It's a tough thought, isn't it? That something so routine could potentially hold a hidden risk for many of us. As we get a little older, those aches and pains creep in. The energy levels aren't quite what they used to be, and we start thinking more seriously about staying healthy, about making choices that help us live longer, more vibrant lives. We want to protect our hearts, keep our minds sharp, and feel good. And sometimes, the things we've always done need a closer look. That comfortable routine might just be hiding a painful reality we're not aware of. The truth about eggs after 60, especially eating them every single day, is something we need to talk about openly. In this video, we're going to gently uncover why that daily egg habit might be something to reconsider as you navigate life over 60. We'll look at the potential downsides that aren't always obvious, understand why our bodies might process things differently now, and explore ways to make healthier choices without giving up everything you love. It's not about fear, it's about information and making informed decisions for your health right now. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to share something about how to approach this that might just completely change the way you think about your breakfast plate. And it might really surprise you. Let's dive right into what happens with our bodies as we age, particularly after we cross that 60 threshold, and how something as common as a daily egg might interact with those changes. You see, while eggs are undeniably packed with nutrients, they've got protein, vitamins, minerals, all sorts of good stuff. The picture isn't quite as simple as eggs are healthy. It's about the context. And for someone over 60, that context includes changes in metabolism, digestion, and most importantly, cardiovascular health. One of the biggest conversations around eggs has always been about cholesterol. Now, for years, dietary cholesterol got a really bad rap. And then the pendulum swung a bit, and some research suggested it wasn't as big a villain as we thought, especially for younger, healthy people. But here's where the nuance comes in, and it's crucial for us over 60. While the cholesterol you eat doesn't directly translate pound for pound into cholesterol in your bloodstream for everyone, it can still have an impact, especially if you already have underlying health conditions like high cholesterol, heart disease, or diabetes. Our body's ability to manage and process cholesterol can change as we age. The liver, which plays a key role in producing and clearing cholesterol, might not be quite as efficient as it once was. This means that adding a significant amount of dietary cholesterol, like the kind found in egg yolks, every single day can make it harder for your body to keep your blood cholesterol levels in a healthy range. And elevated blood cholesterol, particularly LDL bad cholesterol, is a well-established risk factor for heart attacks and strokes. This risk doesn't magically disappear after 60. In fact, it often becomes more relevant because we've had more years for plaque to potentially build up in our arteries. Think about it this way. If your car's engine isn't quite as smooth as it used to be, you wouldn't necessarily put the lowest grade fuel in it every day, right? You'd be a bit more mindful. Our bodies are similar. After 60, being mindful of things that can potentially strain our cardiovascular system becomes more important. Eating a large amount of cholesterol daily, even from a food with other benefits like eggs, could be adding extra pressure to a system that's already accumulated years of wear and tear. Let's put some numbers to it. A single large egg yolk contains about 185 milligrams of cholesterol. The old dietary guidelines used to recommend limiting dietary cholesterol to 300 milligrams per day. And while that strict limit has been relaxed for the general population in some guidelines, many health professionals still recommend being cautious, especially for individuals with heart disease risk factors. Eating just 2 eggs a day can put you very close to or over that old limit, consuming around 370 milligrams of cholesterol. Doing this every single day, week after week, month after month. When you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, might just be too much for your body to handle effectively, increasing that potential risk to your heart over time. It's not just about the cholesterol in the egg itself, either. Think about how you often prepare eggs: fried eggs, scrambled eggs with butter or cheese, omelets loaded with fatty ingredients. These preparations can add saturated and trans fats, which also contribute to unhealthy cholesterol levels and increase heart disease risk. So, the daily egg isn't just one thing. It's often part of a meal that, when consumed daily, compounds the potential negative impact on your cardiovascular health. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but eggs have so much protein. And you are absolutely right. Protein is incredibly important as we age for maintaining muscle mass, bone health, and overall vitality. However, eggs are not the only source of high-quality protein, and relying on them daily might mean you're missing out on diversifying your protein sources, which can bring other nutrients and benefits. We'll talk more about alternative ways to get plenty of protein in a moment. Another aspect that's gaining more attention is the choline content in eggs. Choline is an essential nutrient, important for brain function, nerve function, muscle movement, and metabolism. Eggs are one of the richest dietary sources of choline. This sounds great, especially for maintaining cognitive function as we age. And in many ways, it is. However, there's research suggesting that gut bacteria can convert choline and a related compound called L-carnitine found in red meat into a substance called trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO. Elevated levels of TMAO in the blood have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and heart attack. While the research on TMAO and its direct link to eggs is still evolving and complex, the fact that daily, high consumption of a choline-rich food could contribute to higher TMAO levels is something to consider, especially when cardiovascular risk is already a concern after 60. It's another layer of complexity to the "are eggs good or bad" question, suggesting that for some individuals, particularly those with certain gut microbiome compositions or existing heart conditions, the daily intake might be less beneficial and potentially more risky than sporadic consumption. So, when we look at the cumulative effect of daily dietary cholesterol intake, potential saturated fat from preparation methods, and the possible impact of TMAO production from choline, the picture emerges that while eggs aren't poison, consuming them every single day might not be the wisest strategy for long-term cardiovascular health after the age of 60. It's about cumulative exposure and the potential strain on a system that's already more vulnerable. It's not about saying goodbye to eggs forever, but perhaps saying hello to variety and moderation. This isn't just theoretical. Doctors and dietitians often advise older patients, particularly those managing heart health issues, to limit egg yolk consumption. Understanding the why behind that advice is the first step towards making changes that feel right for you. Now that we've explored some of the potential downsides of daily eggs after 60, let's think about how this fits into your overall diet and what other options are available to make sure you're getting all the nutrients you need without this potential daily risk. Continuing on from understanding the potential concerns around daily egg consumption after 60, especially regarding heart health and cholesterol, it's important to remember that nutrition is rarely black and white. Eggs do offer significant nutritional benefits, like high-quality protein, which is crucial for preventing muscle loss sarcopenia as we age. They also contain essential vitamins like B12 vitamin D, if fortified or free range, and selenium, all of which play important roles in overall health and well-being. So, the goal isn't necessarily to eliminate eggs entirely, but to consider the frequency and quantity, especially if you have existing health conditions or risk factors. If you're someone who has 2 or 3 eggs every morning, 7 days a week, that's the pattern we're suggesting might be worth reconsidering. Perhaps shifting to eating eggs a few times a week instead of daily could be a simple yet effective change. This allows you to still benefit from their nutritional profile on occasion while reducing the potential cumulative daily load of cholesterol and factors like choline that contribute to TMAO. Think about your overall dietary pattern. Are those daily eggs part of a breakfast that also includes bacon, sausage, or buttery toast? If so, the combined impact of all those foods high in saturated fat and cholesterol is much greater than the eggs alone. Focusing solely on the egg might miss the bigger picture of a breakfast habit that could be improved. Maybe swapping the fried egg and bacon for a poached egg on whole wheat toast with avocado a couple of times a week, and then having something different on other days, is a more sensible approach. Diversifying your protein sources is a fantastic strategy after 60, and it helps ensure you're getting a wider range of nutrients, instead of daily eggs. Consider incorporating other protein-rich breakfasts on some days. Greek yogurt is an excellent source of protein and calcium, which is vital for bone health. A smoothie with protein powder like whey or plant-based and fruits and vegetables offers protein plus fiber and antioxidants. Oatmeal with nuts and seeds can provide protein and healthy fats. Even lean meats or fish left over from dinner can make a protein-packed breakfast. Lentils or beans in a breakfast wrap are common in other parts of the world and are incredibly good for you, offering protein and fiber. The key is variety. By rotating your breakfast options, you naturally reduce your exposure to potential downsides associated with any single food, including the potential risks of daily high egg consumption for your heart. Let's touch again on the cholesterol aspect and individual variation. Some people are genetically predisposed to be hyper-responders to dietary cholesterol, meaning their blood cholesterol levels are more significantly affected by the amount of cholesterol they eat. Others are hypo-responders. Unfortunately, you don't typically know which category you fall into without testing and monitoring. Given that the risk profile generally increases after 60, being more cautious with daily high cholesterol foods like egg yolks is a prudent approach for many, especially until you've discussed it with your doctor and perhaps had your lipid levels checked. Your doctor can give you personalized advice based on your specific health history, risk factors, and current medication. It's also worth considering how the eggs are prepared on the days you do eat them. Boiling or poaching eggs are generally healthier methods as they don't require added fats like butter or oil. If you're scrambling or frying, using a minimal amount of healthy oil like olive oil or avocado oil is a better choice than butter or unhealthy vegetable oils. And focusing on the egg white more often. Egg whites contain almost all the protein of the egg, but very little cholesterol or saturated fat. So, incorporating egg white omelets or scrambles, perhaps using one yolk for flavor alongside several whites, could be another way to enjoy eggs while reducing the daily impact on your cholesterol levels. Portion size matters too. Is it 2 or 3 whole eggs every day? Or just 1, reducing from 3 to 1 daily? Or from daily to every other day? Are practical steps that don't require completely overhauling your routine. Small changes can indeed make a big difference over time. The conversation around eggs and health is constantly evolving as science learns more. But what remains consistent is the importance of a balanced, varied diet, especially as we age, relying heavily on any single food, even one with many good qualities like eggs, day in and day out, might mean you're missing out on the benefits that come from a wider array of foods and potentially exposing yourself to cumulative risks. Remember, the goal here isn't to scare you, but to empower you with information so you can make the best choices for your body and your future health. It's about being proactive and thoughtful about what you eat, rather than just sticking to habits out of comfort or routine. Thinking about how often you eat eggs and exploring other breakfast options are simple yet significant steps you can take right now towards better heart health and overall vitality after 60. Now, Let's wrap all of this up and think about how to put these ideas into practice for a healthier, more vibrant life. So, we've talked about how those daily eggs, while seemingly harmless and even nutritious, might warrant a second look once you're over 60. We've gently uncovered the potential concerns around cholesterol and its impact on your heart health as your body changes with age, and touched on the emerging science around choline and TMAO. It's not about saying eggs are bad. They're not. They're packed with wonderful nutrients. But the key point, the truth we've explored, is that daily consumption, especially 2 or more yolks a day, might be a habit that introduces unnecessary risk for your cardiovascular system at this stage of life, particularly if you have existing health conditions. The painful reality is that as we age, our bodies become a little less forgiving. Habits we had in our 30s or 40s that seemed fine might have a different impact in our 60s and beyond. But the empowering secret is that you have the ability to adjust, to make small, informed changes that can significantly improve your health trajectory and reduce those risks. We didn't list 5 specific foods to eat or habits to follow in a rigid structure, but rather explored one significant daily habit, eating eggs, and how it fits into the bigger picture of health after 60. The actionable takeaway is to rethink the daily part of your egg routine. It's about moderation, variety, and being mindful of your personal health profile. Instead of every morning, maybe aim for eggs 2 or 3 times a week. On the other days, enjoy a wide variety of other nutritious breakfasts. Explore Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, steel-cut oatmeal, smoothies with protein powder and greens, whole grain toast with avocado, or a thin layer of nut butter. Embrace diversity on your plate. When you do eat eggs, consider healthier preparation methods like boiling or poaching. And if you're concerned about cholesterol, remember egg whites are a great protein source with minimal cholesterol. Making these changes isn't about deprivation. It's about upgrading your diet to better support your body's needs now. It's about reducing one potential daily strain on your heart while discovering new, delicious ways to fuel your body and get all the protein, vitamins, and minerals you need to stay strong and energetic. Remember that important protein intake. You can easily get it from fish, lean meats, poultry, beans, lentils, tofu, nuts, seeds, and dairy or dairy alternatives. Variety is truly the spice of life and the key to comprehensive nutrition after 60. Talking to your doctor is always a great step. They know your personal health history, your medications, and can offer tailored advice about your diet, including how many eggs might be appropriate for you based on your cholesterol levels and heart health risk factors. Don't hesitate to bring up this topic at your next appointment. Changing habits can feel a little daunting at first, especially ones that are deeply ingrained like your breakfast routine. But remember, small, consistent changes add up to make a big difference in your health and happiness over time. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start by swapping out your daily eggs just 1 or 2 days a week and see how it feels. Gradually introduce new breakfast options. Find what works for you and what you enjoy. The surprise I mentioned earlier, maybe it's not a single aha moment, but the cumulative surprise of discovering how much better you can feel by making subtle adjustments to your diet and realizing that letting go of one rigid daily habit opens up a world of delicious and even healthier possibilities you hadn't considered. It's the surprise of feeling more in control of your health just by being a little more mindful at the start of your day. So, I encourage you to think about your daily egg consumption with a gentle, curious mind. It's not about judgment. It's about self-care. Have you thought about how many eggs you eat? Have you noticed any changes in your health as you've gotten older that make you think about your diet differently? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Sharing helps us all learn from each other. If you found this discussion helpful, or it gave you something new to think about, please give this video a like. It really helps my channel and lets me know I'm creating content that's valuable to you. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more videos like this, where we explore practical, gentle ways to live your best, healthiest life at every age. Taking care of yourself now is the greatest investment you can make in your future well-being. It's about embracing the wisdom that comes with age and using it to make choices that nourish your body and your spirit. You are capable of making positive changes, and every little step counts. Live your best life at every age.